Hello, good morning. Happy Tuesday. We are continuing with the diesel assessment for the diesel course. And I was taking a look at where we are before starting the stream, and it looks like creating a function to insert a book. So that's what we're working on now, is the actual CRUD part of things, which is always really nice. Now, I guess this is going to be like more actual library type stuff. So this can probably be an actual code in the test directory. Where do I have that? Chantilly, hello. How are you doing today? So if I cd into tests, okay, so we have the seeds tests, and I think we can do maybe like a CRUD test. We can either do CRUD tests or like create tests, but I think CRUD tests would be maybe better for this. So let's touch CRUD test s. Now, something that I think would be oh, you don't know how you're doing yet? Too early in the morning? I totally understand that. I've been there myself many times. All right. Too many meetings. Oh, well, yeah, I've also been there plenty of times. Generally, I found the higher I rise in sort of like rankings at companies, sort of like going towards senior, going towards management, going towards director, that kind of stuff. You tend to just get more and more meetings. That tends to be our lives, right? And theoretically, the higher you are, you go to those meetings in order to prevent the people who are actually doing the work to go to the meetings. That's always been my philosophy. Is like I'll take the hit. I'll go to the meetings. You all get the work done. But I don't actually think that that's how many companies feel about it. All right. So, let's say we have a test here. So we have a function. This is going to be a create book test. We'll go ahead and return a result from error. And then, how do I want to do this? I probably, do I actually care about resetting a database at this point in time? I don't know if I need to, because I just want to create a book and then get that book and then see that, well, it's there, don't I? So if we hit the main library, and so I'm thinking inside of source, inside of library, we have maybe CRUD type stuff inside of there, which maybe can go inside of lib.rs, or maybe we can have like a CRUD. What is in lib right now? We have nothing right now. Okay, let's throw things in here until I feel that maybe it should be something else. Okay, so if I have a function, so we have a pub function create book. You don't do anything right now. And so I want to call that, right? So we would it's not what I wanted. Import there. Okay. So use diesel bookstore assessment, create book. So I create a book here, and then we're going to have to pass in what the book is, which means a name. So let new book name. I want this to be, well, okay, so we don't have a unique on this, so that's fine. So I can make this whatever I want. I could do some random shenanigans for this, but I don't really think that that's necessary. So we'll just do like new book test. And we pass in new book name. So you're upset. So we have a name, and that can be a stir. Okay. Now I'm gonna want a created book. Okay, so I want to assign this. Now you're going to be upset because I'm never using a variable. Also, it's basically nothing. So you have to return the model from here. So you're going to be a book, which is models book. Okay. Let's throw a to do into you. Why don't you tell me now that you're creating a book? Oh, you know that there, but oh, okay. So the inline hasn't updated, but Rust Analyzer is aware of this change. I wonder if I need to actually make a change and not just save. But okay, so we created a book like that. I want to test that we have an ID from this created book, and I guess we can take this ID. Oh, you know what I probably want? I probably want created book to really just be like this, created book ID. So instead of a book that we're returning, this is just an I-32. That's what I want. now you think you're a book. Okay, cool. You're off by like one full like update. That's fun. Okay, so we have an I-32 here, not a book. I can now use, so we're going to use the schema. So this is the diesel bookstore assessment schema, books, DSL. And I should be able to get the book. So our DB book is going to be, so schema books, there we go. Is that okay? I think that's okay, right? Books. Or do I not? Because don't I have like a books also here in the DSL? Maybe not. Let's see. So that's yeah. So maybe that's me. Oh, maybe that's what I want. Right. So I go table. And then I want to select. I want to get everything. So the book as select. And I want to find. And I want to find by the ID, which is going to be the created book ID. what am I, let's see, select statement from clause, okay. Do I not need select? I thought I could execute or load or something like this. One. There's some way that I can, I then need to tell it and do the connection, right? I need to pass it a connection, and that should allow me to load the thing that I want to load. Is it not table that I want? Is there a find here? Oh, there is a find. That's what it is. Okay, hold on. Find. Oh, self table. Never mind. So I do. Why does some of those things show up on double colon like that? That seems less than obvious. Okay, so we have that. Yeah, so I don't want the find. Yeah, see, that's the load. Okay, so regardless, I do know that I need the connection, right? So why are you upset about that? Oh, found. Okay. Connect. There we go. Dylan Landry, hello. How are you doing today? What am I using to create those terminal windows? Okay, yeah. So for these terminal windows, I'm using a tool called Zellage, which is this. It's basically it's very similar to Tmux, but it gives me all these things for free essentially. I don't have to do any configuration whatsoever for these. It's fairly simple to have everything sort of show up the way you would expect it to. So that's let me type that in. It is Zellage like that. Does that answer your question? Now, I can't go there from the table, right? Oh, I can do this from the table here too. Do you have like a find? You don't, but I can go table. I can do find here. This is the created book ID. Yeah, why can't I'm surprised. Okay, what is the method I'm supposed to do here for to load it? That's the thing that we don't get from autocomplete there. So if we look for find, okay, post dot find and post gums from DSL. Okay, so that's what it is. So DSL books like that. So this would be books, find, created book ID. I still don't see, okay. Oh, then it's select. Okay, then first. Okay, so then it's a see, like it doesn't have the select there. So book as select first connection. Do that entire thing. No method name first for select statement. Yeah. So what am I missing here? Okay, you're using tmux. Is it cool? It's cool that Zellage looks like that by default. Yeah, it does. And I've had some people say like that this part is really like sort of overwhelming and they don't like this, but that's removable. You can do a config option or change the template essentially to remove this from whatever templates you want to use, which is actually really nice. Okay, so you have that to find posts. You're doing use self models post. Okay, so go to models post. You're using the, okay, so do I need the prelude? I wonder if there's a trait that because I don't have the prelude coming in, it doesn't know I'm supposed to have. Yes, that's what it is. Okay, so without the prelude, and it's not Helix, it's Rust Analyzer has trouble like sort of knowing what you can do. So having the prelude is extremely helpful with this. Which makes me think, SAM Postgres, database with Docker, maybe like common problems. So like before the assessment, so troubleshooting. Okay, so this could be methods aren't seen by Rust Analyzer. And then the answer to that would be add, just use diesel prelude star. Okay. Everton and Hayendak, hello. How are you two doing? Nice video. Thank you very much. Okay, so do we books? Okay, so we find select first. So okay, so we get the book here. Now you should be giving me a book, but we sort of like know that my Rust Analyzer is like one update behind for some reason. So it should know that this is. Oh, see, when I do that, okay, so you don't know that you're a book. But you're gonna need to be optional. Wait, is it? Okay, hold on. Unknown. Cool. Yeah. Okay. First connection optional. Oh, there's no result. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So we'll do an optional that. This should give me an option book, but you're an unknown. So I will tell you to be an option book. Mismatch types. Count enum result option. Okay, that's why we do that. Now you know you're an option book. Okay. Can I get rid of you now? No, I cannot. Okay, fine. Good enough. So now that we know that you're an option book, I want to test to see if the okay, so we know that the IDs are going to be the same. I want to test to see that the names are the same. So we're going to assert equal that dbbook.name is equal to new book name. And you are no field name on option book. Right. So that you're a sum. I guess I have to sum this. Do I put the name after this? No field name. Okay, so hold on. I want to assert. There's not like an assert sum. And I need to make sure that it is. Oh, I know what I could do. We're going to assert like this. And then we can do dbbook is sum and this returns a Boolean. So this will be fine. So is sum and then we have a function here. This gives me a dbbook. And I want to check to see if dbbook the name is equal to new book name. And that's it. That's our assert. Okay. So excuse me. Sorry, I should have muted for that one, but it snuck up on me a little bit too quickly. All right, so we have this. You're yelling at me because we're not using you right now, but unused import. Let's get rid of you. Okay, so that's the only warning that we have, which means I should now be able to run this runner test. Let's do a cargo test, and this should fail, obviously. Failed. Thread crate book test panicked at source lib 6, not yet implemented. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, so not yet implemented. Everton, you've been studying Rust for over 1.5 years, been a JavaScript developer for over 8 years, but don't easily find jobs to transition or feel comfortable with the opportunities available. Are you talking about like not easy to find jobs in JavaScript or not easy to find jobs in Rust? Because like for Rust, totally see that. It is pretty hard to find Rust jobs, especially ones that aren't like very senior jobs. Yeah, for Rust. My read on the market for Rust jobs is that most of the Rust jobs are being filled by companies who through their networks, which means that they're never really making their way to the job boards. And so the ones that you see on the job boards are going to be for senior because they're not finding those people in their networks. That's my idea. And then eventually they're just going to say, whatever, we'll just hire any developer and then teach them Rust. So that's another thing. Basically, I think that for Rust jobs, we need to network like crazy to get good. All right. So okay, so we have this to do name. Now what I could do is I can lie to make this test pass, and we can just say, you know what? 1. What? What? That's up arrow. Okay, so cargo test again. You should fail now because left doesn't equal right, right? Yeah, assertion failed because this is false. Okay, perfect. Now we could probably go and actually like take a look. So if we do table book, we can see I did not see the new book get added in here. Oh, because create book. Yeah, that would do it. Yeah. Because it's none. It's none. That would make sense. How to be a senior Rust developer without the experience. You have to prove so see like the entire problem with like the entire senior thing is it's all subjective to the company that you're attempting to get a job with. So their definition of what a senior is might be different than what your definition of a senior is or some other company's definition. Which another reason why networking is good because you can sort of help bypass or understand what their needs really are. The general idea though is that you need to convince them that you can provide more value than you cost as a developer. So if they're going to pay you a salary of a lot of money, let's say 150 $200,000 a year to be like a senior Rust dev, then you need to provide more value to the company than that amount of money. And you need to prove to them during the interview process that you can do that. That's one of the reasons why interview processes are so hard for software dev is because the companies are really scared about making the wrong decision sometimes. So how to become a senior dev? You need to create your own experience. So if you don't have experience working for other companies with Rust, build your own projects. Build something that you can show companies this is like, I can do this. I built it for myself. I can build this for you. Because that reduces some of the risk that these companies are feeling that they're taking on when they hire you for that amount of money. Does that make sense? Open source can be a great way to do that. Basically, like either projects for yourself that you can either like sell or actually like just use. Projects that you actually use for real are way better than projects that you just build once and you're like, oh yeah, I just built like, a really simple thing. That's awesome and great. If you actually use it for real and then you have to like update it, that is so much better because you can now show like, hey, not only can I create something really cool, I can maintain it too. Because you never have to maintain something that nobody uses. And even if it's a product that only you use, if you're still using it and you have to maintain it, that's a talking point. Got it make sense? Awesome. Well, good luck also. Let us know what you end up making because there's a lot of really cool like things that people are doing and building these days, which we always love to see. Okay, so I need to actually create the book now. So let's go ahead and do this. So first off, I want to create the new model for the book, I believe. So I don't remember if I need to make this mutable or not. Let's just create like new book. Can I create? Oh, book off of models. Field count. Build from row. Oh, I remember now. We have to create an actual new book model. So in models, so we have some like book here. So we have to do a pub struct new book. We'll have a pub name, which is a string. We're going to derive. So you're not queryable, you're not selectable, you're not identifiable because you don't represent an entire row. We can put debug into here, but you are insertable. And I don't remember, but I think we do both of you too. What am I missing? Previous definition of the type new book here. First implementation here. Okay, so I believe we just do new book name. It has to be name. Name to owned. Now, can I do new book? I can insert into maybe. Can I save? Insert itself into a given table. So then this will be book table like that. And you will be an insert statement. So I want let created. I wonder if okay, so created ID. I do need a returning, and this is going to be the DSL. So use schema books DSL. I care about the ID. So returning ID. And we only want, okay, which one of these things? So load gives me a vector, but I'm only doing one thing, right? So get result first. I think it's get result. Runs the command and returns the affected row. So we need, oh, I need a connection. So let's actually, should we pass the connection in like this? I believe we should. So our connection is going to be a mutable reference to a PG connection. Connection, this should be a result. With an I32 inside of that. So we can do a context, getting ID back after inserting book. Okay. So that should give me the created ID there. And I believe I can return an OK. Created ID. Okay, so I think you should be fine now. And conflicting, okay, so insertable debug. Conflicting implementation trait of the insertable books table for type, new book. Do you not want that? You don't like debug. Maybe. The name new book is defined multiple times. Oh, wait. It is. Wait, did I already create this? I created this already and I completely forgot that I created it. Well, that would explain why it's multiple times. Okay. Yeah, so about that. We come back to the library. You're happy. All right, so now I need to pass in the connection again. Okay. Connection. You need to be question marked. All right, no more errors. Nothing like that. Chet Dev, hello. How are you doing today? Usually don't see you this early in the morning. Usually have all your like meetings at work, right? Let's see. Running seed test. Oh, create book test. Okay. All right. And then we should be able to see, did the book get created? I don't see that the book got created. So new book test. Huh. I don't see new book test here. So connection is that, new book name, create book, DB book. So option. Okay, so DB book, which should give me an option book back. Books find. All right, so why didn't you do your thing? I forget. Can I print line in a test? I want to say that there's something I have to do to like make the prints display out, but I don't remember. But I want to see what this is. So like, can I print line? Testing, creating book with ID. Create a book ID like that. Yeah, you don't exist. Cargo test. Is that no capture? That is. Okay, so creating, okay, so testing created book with ID 141. So table books. Oh, oh no. Okay. It's not actually an oh no thing. It is running my create book tests before the seed test, and the seed tests wipe the database. So 141, we don't see that. So everything should be working fine. Now, what I can do is I can do a cargo test and then actually run CRUD test. Right? No test passed. Is it? Oh, is it the actual name? So create book test. Create book test. One test there. There's the new book test like that. Okay. All right. There we go. So everything, this test is now working. We are now properly testing that we can create a book and then we get the ID back. Okay, excellent. So then next up would be function. So CRUD test. I kind of want to change the name of this file already to, can I move? So move the current buffer. Okay, so still tests. So I want to move the current buffer to book CRUD test. S. So this create book test, and so now we have read book test. So get all books. So get all books test. All right, so we first start with getting our connection. And then I want to, maybe I create 2 books. And then we should I should know that then we have at least those 2 books. And I could then test to see that those 2 books IDs are in there. So let created so ID 1 or book ID 1. So first created book 1. Create book. Our name will be first book. Pass the connection. Created book 2. Create book. Second book. Okay. So we get those 2 things. Now I have the 2 of those. And so now I want to run. Okay, so I want to get all the books. So in here, we're going to have a pub function, get all books. We'll just take in a connection. So we'll have a result. And then this will be a vec of book. And let's right now just return an OK and an empty vector. So we'll lie. Kubalayam, hello. Is this theme IU? I don't think it is. It's Adwaita Dark. We're using Adwaita Dark. And also Isitsu, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, so let's do, we'll call this DB books. And get all books. Yeah, import you. Do that. Okay, so, oh, right, connection. All right, so there we go. So now we have all the books, and we should be able to loop through and then see that those exist. I don't think in all, because we might have more books. We should have at least this many books, right? So we can assert true that DB books dot length is greater than 2. Greater than or equal to 2. Okay. Should be that. Then what would be next here? I want to test to make sure that they have these specific 2 books in there. So I need to loop through and then test to see if you're book 1 or book 2 for each one. Which I'm thinking just a simple for loop. I think the all won't. What does all do again? I don't think all is what I want. If I do an iter, test if every element of an iterator matches a predicate, which I don't need it to be an all. Oh, I can filter it though. I can filter. And so we have a DB book. And so I want it to be one of these 2, right? So DB book ID is equal to created book 1 or DB book that ID is equal to created book 2. So if you're one of those 2, then collect this into a vec, a book. I mean, is this really helpful? I think this is overkill because I also want to check the names of it, don't I? So I think I should just do a for loop. So we're just going to do a for loop. And so DB book in, I can take ownership of this. We're just going through once. This is going to be fine. For DB book and DB books, if DB book that ID is equal to created book 1, then I expect DB book I do need to count though. I do need to count that we found these 2, don't I? No, I don't need to test that create book works because we know that create book works in here. So that's going to be fine. So I just test that we find these. Okay, so if DB book name equals first book, so we can assert. Assert equals to that. And then I can do an else if DB book ID is equal to created book 2. Assert equal. DB book name is equal to second book. Okay, and then otherwise we don't really care because you might be going through a lot of other ones and we're only testing 2 here, so that's fine. Okay, so I think that's going to be good enough. So if I run this test, you should fail. I do need to make sure I'm actually testing the right one. Get all books test. Yeah, DB books length doesn't equal greater than or equal to 2. Wait, does not equal. Did I run the other test first? Great book test, okay. Get all books test failed. Now I'm curious. What is it that I have? Okay, let's try not a debug, let's do a print line. So got all books. No books in here. Yeah, that should have created these 2 books here. Oh, because get all books doesn't return anything because I didn't actually implement it yet. I'm doing test driven development. I'm silly sometimes like this. Like, I mean, I literally hard coded just an empty vector for you. Haha. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to we're gonna use schema books DSL books, and so I want to return books select. I think it's gonna be this one. So select book as select. So give me everything. We will load. So no filter. Our connection. Context. Getting all books. And that's it. That should give us the appropriate thing. So if we run our test now everything works because now we have all the books. So perfect. Okay. That is get all books test. Okay, so function get 1 book test, right? So get 1 book test. So we create our connection. I do want to create a book. So let create a book. I guess this is a book ID. Equals create book. So book name. Okay, so we have that. And that's great. Now, after I've created, okay, so we created my book ID. I want to now get a book. In order to do that, we do need to do the same thing. Now I'm realizing that we're going to have to do the exact same thing for authors. And I probably want to do that in its own folder. I don't know. I might refactor this into like its own directory later. So pub function, this is going to be get 1. So let's not just get 1 book. Let's get by ID. So get book by ID. So that means we need the ID, which is going to be an I32 and a connection. we're going to return a result and an option and then a book. So let's currently return an okay, none. And let's see whether or not I remember that I did this halfway through this test, which I forgot last time. So that's how my brain is going today. Okay, so created book ID. I now want to let db book equals get book by ID. We pass it the created book ID and the connection. And that gives us the option book. And so I want to assert the db book is some end, and the book dot name is equal to book name. Okay. Oh, and then okay at the end. All right, so this should fail. I do like the idea of running tests in sort of a failure state and then making them work. Makes me a little bit more confident the tests are working as expected. Okay, so dbook is some and that, so it's a none right now. I wish that it told me that. I guess it's because I'm doing just a true false one. That's why. All right, so now we want to update you, right? So we want to say, so get book by ID, we want use schema books DSL books. So we're gonna do books find by the ID. So that's gonna be the ID. I want to, can I not select? Book, select, first, connection, context. Okay. Mismatch types, expected result. Oh, optional. So first, optional like that. No method named optional. Is it not after first? Use diesel. Is it optional? It might be one of those, but I think what we need to do is say use diesel prelude. Yeah, that's what we need to do. That should make you happy. So now you should run and pass. And there we go. Everything passed. Excellent. Okay, so that's the C and the R. So then we need update. The update book. Okay, so we probably want like the ID or something. So we'll update the name of the book. So that makes sense, right? So connection. All right, so let's do the first name, right? So original name is going to be new book. And then the new name is going to be I am a new book. Okay, so let's first, we'll create this book. So let created book. I guess this should be book ID, right? So book ID is going to be create book, original name. Why did you do that? I don't need. Okay, so original name, connection. There we go. Okay, so now I have that. Now I want to update the book to the new name. It's gonna be update book. Now there's only one thing we can do. Should I do update book name? Yeah, I think let's do that. We'll have the name, resistor, and our connection, result. And I actually don't need to return anything back from this again. So if I just return like that, we don't actually do the update. This will be fine. Okay, so book ID, create book. We will update book and the book ID and the new name and the connection. Now we want to get this book. So this is the DB book equals book by ID, pass it that connection. That gives us the option to book. Okay, so the book should absolutely exist at this point. So I want to do assert DB book is some end. The book dot we know the book ID is still the same. So the book dot name is now equal to new name. That's all we really care about. All right, what are you upset about? This function takes 3 arguments. The name update book is defined multiple times. Update book test. Okay, and then unused variables. So this test should fail now. Yeah, okay, so the name is not equal to the new name because it created the book, but it's not the new name. So now we come into our library and we actually do the change now. So we have to say this is, yeah, so we're going to use our schema again. Schema books DSL books. I want to do books. Can I do update here? Ooh, I don't remember. For update? I don't think for update is right. Yeah, adds a for update. Yeah, we're not locking it for an update. That doesn't make any sense. I wonder if I want to find it, make a change to it, and then can I save it? That'd be really cool if I could do that. Let's do. Hey, I'm actually curious about this. So let's actually try this. We'll use that get book by ID up above to grab the book. So the so I can just call this let the sum book is equal to get book by ID, pass it the ID, and the connection context getting book by ID. Which I would have a context in there, and that's the same thing, right? So getting book. So I actually don't think I need a context here. We just question mark. But I do need an else. We're going to return a okay with nothing in it. So if you don't exist, we don't tell you that something went wrong. Okay, now I have access to this book. I want to say, hey, book.name is equal to the new name, which you need to be mutable for that. You need to be a string. Now, can I save this? So book dot, I don't see like a save. Is there like an update? I'm trying these because most of the other ORMs that I've ever used have methods like this, which are usually really cool if you can do that. I don't see that in here. Now, oh, because it comes off of Diesel itself, Diesel update. And then you set that. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. So slightly different. I actually don't even know if I need the schema at all. We just do Diesel update. It's the table, right? Oh no, it's then the thing. Oh, so I do need this schema. So do Diesel update books find ID. Do I set here? Yeah, okay, so I set here. And that's gonna be, it's off of the table. Yeah, okay, so you have books. Name. Okay, so set name to be, ooh, you're not happy with that. Yeah, you're gonna have to be a new name. So set name to be new name. And then we just execute with the connection. Context is updating book. Like that. What are you upset about? This method takes one argument, but two arguments were supplied. Oh, right. Okay. So set name to be equal to new name. Like that. That's how it works. Okay. No errors. So if we run you again, now it works. Okay. Excellent. All right, so we did update, so that's the U, and then the D. We should probably hard delete for this. So function. I wonder if we should have a soft delete and a hard delete. Because if we do a soft delete and a hard delete, I'm trying to think that belongs in this course, because a soft delete is just an update where you have a deleted at field, and then you just say, hey, it's deleted at, and you put a filter into your names. Into your queries. But I'm not necessarily sure that that's something that you need in like this course, or if that's just because like how to do that after this course. That's more of like an app type thing. So I'm not really sure I should put this in that in here. If we do a soft delete, we'll have to do a migration to add in the deleted at, which isn't a problem. We can definitely do that. Okay, so let's do delete book test. We'll create the book. Yeah, okay, so we'll create the book, get the book by ID, delete the book, and get the book ID, and then it should be none. Okay, so let us okay, so we created a book, and we'll get the book by ID, and it'll just be some, and that's all we care about, that it is some, and that is there, and then it should be none, right? Although we know that create book works, right? So I don't need a test create book works, because create book works up here. So therefore, I can just immediately delete the book, which means that we need to create a stub for this. All right, so we're going to have a delete book, pass it the created book ID and our connection. And then we're going to get that book again. So this is the deleted book. So our deleted book is none. Okay, so if we run this, we should get an error. Yeah, so should fail is none because it is something because it exists. All right, so then let's do use schema books, DSL, books. So I want books. Now I can't. Oh, right. It's probably going to be the same thing, right? So we want to do diesel, delete, books find, by ID. Find by ID. Wait, finds by ID. So it should be only that one. So then we can just execute this with the connection. Okay, that should be happy. And there we go. Okay, so that's CRUD for all of them. All right, so we still have to make that decision of whether or not we want a soft delete for these. Oh, and I probably want to do. Oh, we're gonna have to do sort of like a cascading test type thing too, because if I delete the book, I need to make sure that I delete it from the book authors too. So this is all great until we, deal with the other things. Because yeah, get all books. Everything's actually fine until delete. So we need to. I mean, maybe this is an okay test for right now because this book doesn't exist in the book authors. But I should have some more tests to actually make sure that when we associate a book with an author, it deletes the book authors when we delete the book. And of course the author too. Okay, so that's great. Now this book CRUD test, can I copy? There's no copy here. So that's. Are you going for a desling situation where the user writes the bin implementation, you test that the implementation works as expected? Yeah, so it's not going to be quite as nice as sort of like a Rust lean type thing. The plan is that I'm going to just take this and essentially change you to a to-do statement like this. This is what I'm planning to do. Is change all of these to to-dos. That way the signature is still here. That way the test won't yell at you saying hey, this thing doesn't exist. I can't run from that. It'll be more of to do not implemented as the problem. And therefore you need to now write the actual thing. So that's the plan. And I believe that's what we did with the SQL X assessment too. And to me, that makes the most sense because I don't want people to sort of like, this is not testing that you can like write functions. There's not testing that you can write those stuff. I'm testing that you can do the diesel things. That's all I really care about in this specific assessment. And hopefully as a learner, that's all you care about too. At least for this thing. If you need that, we can build some more courses for that. Okay, so if I go into my tests and if I copy our book crud test to author crud test, okay, so I guess we'll do these one at a time to change these. So you'll be create author test. So schema authors DSL authors. So hold on, before I do that, let's select all of you and search for DSL. Only 2 selections? Oh. Wait, where's the... Okay, whatever. Oh, DSL like that. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay, so hold on. In that case, not that big of a deal. So create author tests. So schema, authors, DSL, authors. Okay, so create author test. We create our connection. New author name. Do new author test. What if I just do created, we'll just do created author ID. All right, so here's where I now want a create author in here. And this is also where in the library, we now are putting a lot of things that don't necessarily make sense because these are all related to books. So I should create a new module. So let's, okay, so we have connect lib model schema. I don't want this in bin. I think I want to do, it's not models, queries. Let's do queries. And so we're going to touch mod.rs and books.rs. So for books queries, I think this will make sense. And let's actually book queries. Oh, and we'll have author queries as well. All right, so then with you, we'll delete all of you. And then open up. First off, we have to go to mod. And then we have to go to book queries, and now I can add you in here. Okay. And then finally go back to, nope, mod, okay, queries mod, pub use book queries. There you go. Okay, so that should be happy. Wait, unresolved import. Really? Fine. Hold on. Source queries, mod, insert mod, book queries. Okay, fine. Now you're happy. Now I have to pull all of these things in again. So first off, let's just use Diesel Prelude just to get that out of the way. We also need to use error result. Okay, import, create schema, import you, import you. Let's see, book table. Import you. Okay, cool. And then you're all upset because you are now in the wrong directory. I have create book in here. I kind of don't want you to be in there. Models book. Okay, so diesel assessment, queries, book queries. And then that gets me all of you things. Perfect. I don't need you. You. I don't need any of you anymore. Author cred test. Create book. Oh, I didn't add you in, did I? So import you. Oh, this is the author cred test. Hold on. So I want to fix all the book cred tests first. So having the diesel prelude, I think, is helpful for at least right now. Unresolved import, right. So come on, show me it. You are, we go queries, book queries, create book. Okay. Yeah, no more errors and error. Now all of our stuff is an author cred test. So you're upset about authors, but I don't want this to be authors. So we have no author name is that. Okay, so create book, which means we need to go into our author queries. We'll have a pub function, create author. We'll have a name. And you need to be the author that we, just the ID. So this is going to be an I-32. Okay, so if I return OK1 as just a quick lie, You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Where's my test? Okay, author cred test. There we go. Okay, so this is going to become, so I don't want, let's do queries, author queries, and then let's just star that. So as we pull in all the author queries, we'll get them all. Remove the whole use. Why is that? Is it because there's only one thing in there? Or because I'm not using it yet. So that, create author ID. All right, so this is gonna be create author, new author name, and connection. Expected, author queries. You need to be a mutable reference to an author connection. There you are, you're happy. Okay, so DB book. You have to be a DB author. And your author's here. Okay, so authors find created author ID. Select. This has to be an author. As select. Give me the first one, optional. DB author is some, and you're now an author. DB author name is equal to the author name. Okay, excellent. So that should be good. Import you. Ooh, why can't I see first? Use diesel. I don't have the prelude in here, do I? Oh, that made it worse. Question mark operator. I have result. Wait, what? Use error result. Okay, that's good. Okay, so authors cannot convert from option author to option book. Wait a second. Isn't this a result? Oh, author. That's why. That's why. Martin DevOps, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, so this should be good for create author test. I'm going to go ahead and basically work on these, and then we'll run the test and then make them all pass one at a time. That'll be fun. And because of that, you know what we can do? If we go to our book queries, let's just grab all of this. So not create book, because we just did that one, but go to the end. Author queries, paste you here. Okay, so get all books becomes get all authors. Okay, and a vec, empty vec. Get author by ID. So we're just going to work on the signatures here. It's going to be okay, none. Update author. Okay, and delete author. So excellent. We still have some problems here, like book. That needs to be an author. And author. Okay. Can I find author? Okay. You definitely need to know author. All right, so I think this will be fine. So we're saved. Let's go back to our author cred test. Excellent. So create author test is done. Let's work on create get all authors test. So created author 1. It's going to be a create author. First author. Create author 2. Author, second author. DB authors. Get all authors. Okay, so we do that. That gets us the vec of author. Check to see the author's length is greater than or equal to 2. For DB, nope. Want to use this method. DB author and DB authors. ID is equal to created author 1. Assert equal. DB author name is first author. Else if DB author ID is created author 2. DB author name is second author. Okay, that's that one. Okay, so get one author test. So we get our connection, created author ID, create author, author name, DB author, get author by ID. Okay, so we do that. Assert DB author is some and author.name is equal to author name. Okay, and that test is done. Okay, update author test connection. Original name is new author. New name is I am a new author. This becomes author ID. Create author. Original name connection. Update author. Author ID, new name, connection. DB author. Get author by ID. Okay, the author ID connection. Author is DB author is some and author.name is new name. Okay, so we're good there. Delete author test. Okay, connection created author ID is create author name, delete author, created author ID connection, deleted book, so deleted author, get author by ID, Create author ID connection. The author is none. Okay, that's it. So now, if I run all these tests, we should have a bunch of failures. So 4 failed. And failed is create author test, get all authors, get one author, and update author test. So I should be able to go into author queries here, and we just make these work one at a time, and it'll be great. So let's do this. Okay, create an author. So want to first use, I want to create the new author. So author equals new author, name is name to owned. And then we want to insert in, how did we do this again? It was, can I do insert into? Yes, okay, so we do insert into author table. And okay, so new author, insert into author table. I don't think I need to do anything else. We just execute with the connection. Give it, oh, returning. So not execute. Whoa, table, hold on. There we go. Okay, I want to return just the ID. And the ID is off the schema. So I want to use crate. Use schema, authors, DSL. Okay, so I want the ID here. So returning ID. And just give me the first, or wait, I can get result. Get result, connection, context. This is creating author, and get rid of you, and that should be happy. So now you should pass the create author test. Yep, so now we only have 3 errors. All right. Get all authors. All right. Get all authors. So we should do, let's see, schema, authors, DSL, authors in this case. I'll do authors. We can select author as select. Just load them all. So load our connection. Context is getting all authors. And that's it. Okay. 2 left. Get 1 author. So get author by ID. All right, so this one, use schema authors, DSL, authors. So I'm going to do authors. We want to find by the ID, and that's pretty much it. Right? I can just get result, which you're not helping me with here, which is not great. So I wonder if I'm missing something. Context, getting author by ID. Type mismatch. Find, get result, requires a bound. You don't like that connection. So type mismatch, queryable, required for option. Optional. Get result, optional like that. There you go. Again, you don't get any help, which is really unfortunate with diesel, but it seems to be like the pattern of how this works. Okay, so 2 more, delete and update author. So update author. All right, so in here, we're going to diesel update, use schema, authors, DSL, authors, we're gonna do authors, find, based upon the ID, we want to set, okay, and we want to set authors and the name. So we're going to set the name to be equal to the new name. And that's pretty much it. Then we just execute, pass in a connection. Like that. Okay, so that should be update author test. Now there's just the delete author test. All right, this is gonna be pretty much the same thing. I just use, okay, so use schema, authors, DSL, authors, and do a diesel delete, authors find based upon ID. And then I think I just execute our connection. Context is deleting author. Okay. All right. All the tests are passing. So that's the assessment for the CRUD authors. So last up would be the CRUD user authors, which the join stuff. And that's where it's going to be fun, right? So we go back into tests, we're going to touch. It's not necessarily going to be CRUD test, so we're just going to call this user author tests. All right, so we have to figure out what are a tests going to look like in here. So function. So we know that we can create an author. We know that we can create a book. So after we create an author, we want to associate an author with a book. So I guess if we think of CRUD for this, even though I'm not naming a file for it, we want to create a book author, right? So this is going to be associate book with author test. Okay, so how do we do this? The first thing, we have to create an author, and then we have to create a book, right? So let's let's do these all. Should I create them all as like for sort of variables, like author name, book name? Maybe. So we'll do author name. Yeah. Okay. So let's do author. Author name is going to be new author. That book name, new book. Okay. So let's do author ID is now going to be to create an author. Oh, connection. Okay, so we want the author name. Let our book ID create book. Okay, so we've created our author and our book, and we want to associate these together, which means that we need to create some new files. So in queries, let's create a book author queries. All right, so what are we going to have in here? We're going to have, I guess like before we do all the no, we need to use the diesel. Use diesel prelude. All right, so we're going to have a pub function, associate book with author. So we're going to have a book ID, like I-32, and an author ID. It's an I-32, and a connection, which is a mutable reference to a BG connection. We're going to return a result. And I don't need to return anything at all. We just made the association. So right now we're just going to return that. Okay, so for you, where's our book author tests? Test, author cred test, user author tests? Whoa. Move to tests. Yeah, this is supposed to be book author tests. All right. Okay, so we've created an author, we've created a book, we have the author name, we have the book name. I make the association. So we're going to associate book with author, hands it the book ID, the author ID, and our connection. To test this, I need to do the join myself. I need to do the join myself. So how do I want to do this? I can... Well, actually, I can query to make sure it has these two authors in it. The author ID and a book ID. That's all I really need to do, don't I? Also, what's up with you? Expected function. Oh, yeah. Connect. There you go. Okay, so if I use okay, schema, book authors. Is that it? We have author ID. Isn't there like a book authors, like for the table? Okay, such as select and filter. All columns, author ID, book ID, columns. Oh, right, DSL, book authors. That's what I want. So now I want to find, so we're going to let Udkarst, sorry for butchering your username, but hello, how are you doing today? Okay, so this is going to be the book authors. And I like to add in like this from the DB. So DB book authors. And really it is a singular one. So I want to go to book authors. Okay, so book authors, we're going to find by the primary key, but our primary key is a combination of both. So maybe that won't work. I wonder how that works. Would it want a tuple? Because it's a combined primary key. Hold on. So if I do find, what else do you have in here? Yeah, I see book. Okay, so author ID, book ID. I don't see like a primary key or anything like that. Maybe off the table. So authors off the model. Yeah, there's no primary key. Yeah, I'm curious. Okay, so let's try this. Let's try find. And I'll put in, let's try a tuple. Let's just see how that works. It's probably going to yell at me, but we're going to say it's going to be, oh, how does it even know? Because if I do author ID, book ID, Is that the right order? How does it know this? Want just the first? Get result? Find optional. Do I have diesel prelude? I do not. No method named optional. I thought there was. For select statement. Oh, right. Find, select, book author as select. No? No method name optional for select statement in the current scope. The full name has been written to. Huh. So find that. Select book author as select. I have that as a dot, right? Yeah, that is a dot. Optional. Get result. Connection. Okay. Yeah, that's really unhappy. Why are you okay? What did I do for the grid test? So authors find created author ID, select as author select, first optional. Wait, did I do first then optional? Oh, I did first. Oh, that's what I need to do. Sir Nikif, hello, how are you doing today? Okay, so DB book author. All right, so I'm actually really curious whether or not it's going to find this at all, because this thing here that's a big guess. Because I actually don't know if there's any documentation about primary keys that are not just a single like item in the database, but a composite primary key. There's no search in here, so API docs. Returns the primary key of this table. If the table has a composite primary key, this will be a tuple. Okay, so this might work. I'm actually curious. What did I set this to be? DS book authors. It's a primary key of author ID, book ID, which I did do that in that correct order. John Query. Hey, buddy, just wanted to come back and thank you for helping me understand hashes and stuff. Finally finished the project you were working on. Oh, nice. Well, let's take a look at that. how do I do that one? How do I make this an external page? That's not it. Little arc. There you go. That's what I want. Okay. So is this like a authentication app? Nice. Okay, so you're using your authentication tokens. Cool. Yeah, it's a simple auth system. Nice. What are you using for hashing? You can probably just go take a look at. Okay, so this isn't Go, right? Is Go mod where you have all the list of requirements? You are. Okay, so you're using Mongo, Crypto, Jot. Bcrypt. Okay. Why can't... Am I just blind? Am I not seeing Bcrypt in here? No. Wait. Yeah, where does it go in here? Or is it someplace else? I haven't actually written Go. So I'm just sort of guessing as to like this is where I go find where you've imported Go. Or sorry, where you've imported Bcrypt, right? Yeah, but as long as like Bcrypt is a good library, so that should work. But that's cool. Awesome. Since we haven't used it before, we can go take a look at it. Oh, this is very, very different. Oh, Bcrypt is a part of crypto. Okay, so the crypto, what does Go call their modules? Like Rust calls them crates. All the real code is an internal. Okay, there we go. So internal, probably server. Nope. Come on. Let me go back. Fine. I'll click here. Routes. So we want to look at register routes, your post for register. So go to register. Will you tell me? There it is. Our function register. Let me just make this bigger. That literally, okay, because it added in this here, it didn't actually make the code any bigger, which is funny when that happens. Okay, so register, bring in data register. That's like add into it? Like if error is similar to, I've seen this syntax in other languages, but I don't remember what it means in those languages. It's been too long. But okay, so you're validating like the new user. So it assumes context, you're gonna have your body in there too. So db create. Yeah, okay, so user tokens error. Oh, this is a dereference, isn't it? This is a dereference. Because that's what you're getting out of this. You're grabbing validation errors and error out of here. Oh, that's cool. So in create user, SDB create user. That wasn't a DB, right? So database, create user. Yeah, you get your user, context with timeout. Oh, just packages. Okay. You think it's assignment. Oh, it seems to be called a short variable definition, but it's coming into multiple things with commas, which makes me think that it's also dereferencing at the same time. No, wait, dereferencing, destructuring at the same time. But yeah, I can see like, okay, so you're creating a filter, you're creating the variable filter after you use bson m. Okay, so you're doing binary JSON. So this is creating, okay, so you're filtering out that, or you're creating a filter. Count documents. Oh, right, you're also using Mongo for this, which has been forever since I've used Mongo. This case, so you're checking to see if the user has been found first. You're creating that filter that you then use. If you don't find the user, then bcrypt, generate from password. You're using the default cost from that. I wonder what their default cost is. And then, yeah, and then you set that in the password. I mean, that seems perfectly fine. That's a good way to do it. Oh, you're also using sessions too. Sessions are really cool. And then you send it on back. Yeah, so like you can do your return as multiple things. So you return multiple things here. Why do you return always no? Oh, because if you return early, yeah, you have like null, null, and then your error. That's what that is. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I like that. Nil's the error. Yeah, the third thing you return is the error. In this case, sort of like an not an error back, but yeah, because you're not returning a function for the error. You're just returning like an error. If there is an error, you're returning what the error is. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so I guess like I like to sometimes not rely upon default cost, but that's only because I sometimes am scared the default cost is too low. But that sort of like depends upon the library. If the default cost is fine, then that's good to go. If it's like 10 or below, I don't think that's good anymore. I think 12 is now the recommended minimum, and it keeps on going up as like computers get more and more powerful. The default cost continues rising. So that'll be interesting. But okay, yeah, this looks pretty cool. Congrats on making this, and I'm glad it's working. So awesome. Let's get back to this. We are working on very much not Go. This is Diesel. So in Rust, we're not doing authentication as part of this. Default cost is 10. You should probably change that. Yeah, so it keeps on changing. It used to be 8, then it was 10. Now I think 12 is probably recommended. And then it might be good to just sort of keep that as an environment variable so that you can easily change it, or you can set it to be something lower on like your testing systems in the case that it's that doesn't have quite as much power to it. So you can do quick tests. But okay, back to this. Book author. So we find you, associate book with author, and so now I want to get you. So hold on. Don't I want you afterwards? Yeah, I want you afterwards. So we create the author, we create the book, we associate the book with the author, and now I want to, in the book authors, find this, and I would love for this to be like to actually get it, right? So let's assert that DB book author. I guess I have to tell you what you are. So you are an option book author. Is some and. So we have a book author and the book author the book ID. Oh, private. Well, that's not good. So models. Yeah, you need to be public. Okay. Book ID is equal to book ID and well, actually, if I found you, then don't I also, yeah, I don't need to do is some and. I can just do is some. I just do that. That's all I need. Like I could do the join, but I don't think I need to. I think that would be good enough. Now, I'm really curious. Okay, first off, if I run the test, this is going to fail, right? This is going to fail because DB book author is some. It's a none right now, but it can't be anything because you're literally not doing anything. So let's now do the thing, right? So associate book with author. So if because I'm curious about that tuple. Let's see. Ahmed, hello. How are you doing today? I mean, where in the US am I at? I'm in Colorado. So not necessarily like purely in the middle of America, but sort of like Western middle, if that makes sense. I'm to the east of the Rockies. You love it there? It is very beautiful here. It's gonna start snowing pretty soon though, which like it's bittersweet, right? Because I really love the nice weather of like sort of like the summer and the fall, but the snow makes everything looks really beautiful too. Oh, you stayed in Eagle for 1 month. I've never been to Eagle. Eagle. What's the last part of the name? It's Eagle something. I don't remember what the name is. I've never been there, but I think I know people who have been there before. Oh, just Eagle? Okay, then never mind. Maybe I was thinking of like Castle because like there's Castle Rock, there's some other ones. I'm just so used to like close to Breckenridge. I have been to Breckenridge, so yeah, I've never been to Eagle. I've just been close to it. But like if it's as beautiful as Breckenridge is, then I totally understand. That's a very beautiful place. Okay. So let's use we need our schema. Can I get access to schema here easily? Ooh, I could do create schema, book authors, DSL, book authors. Oh, wait. No, I don't think I don't need to do that. I just create a new book author. So that new book author. New book author. We have author ID is going to be, oh, we just do this. Author ID, book ID. Like that. And then we do an insert. New book author. Insert into book author table. I don't need to return in, so I just execute. And with our connection. Context is associating book with author. Okay. What are you upset about? No function associated main table found with book author. I have the diesel preload. So for models, book author. Oh, wait, no, we have table. So table name, book author. Oh, identifiable. Is that what I'm missing? Oh no, because there's no column name ID. Okay. Fine. Okay, got it. So then can I get the table off of so use create schema book authors DSL book authors. Then I think I can just do book authors dot table. I can't. Oh, table. The actual table. So table as book author table. Maybe that's what I want. So then book author table. Yeah. Okay. That works. So don't need that borrow. Don't need that, at least right now. Okay. So let's run this test again. Wait, it found you? Oh, so that worked. Hold on. I wanna take a look at this. So if I print line found book author db book author like that, and we're gonna do a what are you upset about? Book author does not. You can do debug. Let's do cargo test, no capture. And we can see found book author. Book ID. Yeah, okay, so that worked. Breckenridge is around Keystone, right? All ski resorts there. A ton of ski resorts and like lots of manors. It's like there's just so many really cool like buildings, like both old and just sort of like really interesting architecture. Let's see. George, hello. Am I using Vim? No, I am using Helix. It's similar to Vim, so it's a terminal or a CLI based editor, but it's a brand new, rewritten from scratch. It uses some of the Vim key bindings, but sort of defined its own as well. So it's similar, but not exactly. Used to live in San Diego 8 years, had a snowboarding winter, 1 month in Vail. You were driving from Eagle. You love the craft beer and the DNB scene. Yeah, the beer scene here is really strong. Your slam today, you got up at 5:15 a.m. and 10 hours of coding. That is a lot. Yeah, I can't do that anymore. I used to be able to do that when I was younger. But okay, this is really cool. So that's how we can do our find. So I want to make sure that we handle that. So troubleshooting CRUD. Where do I want to put this? Read all, create insert. This would be read one, right? So read one. And then I think I need to put in a note here for get one from table with composite primary key. Okay, so there we go. We have DB book author. We have this is good. Okay, associate book with author test. That test is working. Excellent. Dye my hair and I'm 5 years younger. Yes, I would be. I am, my wife has me on some supplements to delay the gray hair, but my family has early gray hair. My aunt, for example, was pure gray by the time she was 30. So it's happening. And it's just one of those like, okay, I'm accepting it. Although gray hair on men tends to be seen differently than gray hair on women. So that's also like, I guess in my benefit. Makes me look more older and distinguished, right? Okay, so this test works. It's 12 o'clock, so it's pretty much time to end. Create function, insert a book. Okay, so what I really want to do is this is going to be create CRUD functions for books, create CRUD functions for authors, and then create functions for book authors. All right, and that is where we're going to continue on Thursday. Lots of breweries. Wait, I missed a bunch of stuff. The beer scene. Yeah, like we're seeing lots of beers, right? Lots of breweries around the Denver area. There's not very many like non-brewery. Non-beer breweries. How about that? No, there's not very many like hard alcohols, but there are a few. There are some, but they're not clearly as like dominant. Like if in California, for example, you see a lot more wineries than you see breweries. But they are great. Like a lot of the beers are really good. Nice weather year round, lots of nature, and good beer. Yes. I agree with all those things. We go hiking a lot. I go bike riding. There's like bike paths that go from cities to cities, which are also really nice. And I don't have to like cross highways or anything else with my bike, which is a thing in other states, which is not great. So I do enjoy that part of living here. Objective Allison, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. We are unfortunately also ending pretty soon. Continental Bike Trail. Is it Continental? I don't know. Boulders like Berlin? I've never been to Berlin, so I'll have to take your word for it. But now that makes me want to visit Berlin. Adjective, how was your stream? What are you working on today? The work today so far has been going pretty well. We've been working on a diesel rust assessment for a diesel rust course. For those of you, if you don't know, diesel is an ORM, an object relational mapper, for database management, specifically relational database management in Rust. And so we've been working on testing for an assessment to sort of like, well, the assessment would be the end of the course. So we haven't written the course yet. We're starting with the end in mind. But yeah, adjective, how was your stream? What are you working on today? We're doing a NeoVim plugin that does LM streaming and context extraction based upon your buffer. Then you switch over to a Zig LM API client library and started adding Amazon Bedrock support. Nice. Rust plus database stuff is fun? Yeah. Well, I'm maybe a little bit biased. I do find Rust a lot of fun to work with. Okay, so I'm not following anybody who's live, and everybody who I see that's in my recommendation list is either not programming or way too many viewers. And I want to I would rather raid somebody who is smaller, but I don't see anybody on my list. So I think we'll just go ahead and end. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end. And if I don't have anything else to add in, I'll be back on Thursday morning around 9:30 a.m. We'll go until around this time again. And hopefully we should finish up with the assessment and start the actual writing process of the course itself, which is going to be fun and great. Adjective, Allison, cheers. Have a great rest of your day. Well, thank you. Have a great rest of your day too. Also, before I forget, let me shout out. That's the wrong keyboard. Out. Do that? No. Unrecognized command. Isn't that how you do it? Oh, it's full shout out. That's what it is. There it goes. Shout out for that. I am going to follow you as well so I can see what you're doing next time. So with that, have a great rest of your day, everybody. And I will see you all next time. Thank you and bye.